It's just getting me out. Hey, Beth.
Yes.
I know, me too. It is for all of us.
Work on it every day, not think about it, become skinny, then become, it doesn't stop.
I know.
You better be careful that Mike really picks everything up, Joe.
But you know what?
Mike really picks everything up, so be ready.
Sneeze. No sneezing.
No cursing to do.
He's bad about that.
Yeah, sure he is.
Hello. Hi. Hi. So, let me give you a hug. Hello. I actually haven't talked to you about my house.
I think it fits you, okay?
Text me your address and say renew this meeting and I'll
Yeah,
work
but I
it out.
don't. I just got a new refrigerator.
Also, it's
Dish
on the
dishwasher.
I know.
Yeah, still there.
You're still with us.
Do what?
You're still with the company.
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, I figured that much, but I didn't see you for a long time.
I'm doing my first flip in Central
Oh,
Phoenix.
God bless you.
So 50% of the time I look like a construction worker.
That's okay. That's
So
okay. Listen, you do whatever you feel good with.
I'd love to get into 50% of my business being that. I've got a dad who doesn't charge me interest. So he buys the properties and I take the profit. So I got to take advantage of that, I think.
So it's kind of your risk because you're the son, but the risk is minimal.
Yeah. Well, we buy them at foreclosure sales, so, you know.
Who's buying it for you? You do?
What's
Who's
that?
buying it for you?
You mean like the company?
Who goes down to the steps?
So my dad's in commercial real estate, and one of his
so he does
tenants, one of his tenants
He does that.
are those companies for $2
For
grand.
$2 grand.
We have water.
I think
Used to be
Greg did
10
bring
grand.
some.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
I saw Greg.
Yeah, he just charges $2 grand if
It
it goes
used to
through.
be.
Yeah. Well, he didn't on rough time, so he kind of owes my dad. He didn't pay rent for a while, so there's probably a wink, wink. Well,
But then
So-
I'm like,
$2 grand's not bad, I don't think. So
Not at all. It's cheap.
yeah,
She's here.
so. Well,
I think that's good.
we'll see. It's fun.
Tell us how.
I enjoy doing it. It's a break from the normal hour process, right?
You see, we are real quick. There's like the doctor. There's a cardiologist.
Yep.
There's the ear nose. There's a foot doctor.
Yep.
But you're still a doctor. The real estate you can do many ways to make the bottom line.
You have a good year. I've been watching your numbers. You've had a good year, haven't you?
We increase it.
Good morning.
40 more people.
You on what, on your staff?
good. Thank you for blowing up.
There's another buyer agent, two.
Good there.
Yeah, 'cause it's, you know, your listings have been good though. Obviously, you know, seller's
Yeah,
market.
yeah, I don't like too many 7 number listings. It's not good.
No, but didn't you have?
It's not
You've
good
had
formula.
some,
Yeah, I
some
got
5 to
it.
8s.
I got like, to have most of them is not a good formula.
It's
The
like your
400
Desert
is-
Mountain one. Those
Huh?
are tough. The Desert Mountain.
Yeah, I don't even consider that a listing.
High risk, high reward, I guess.
I love those.
I don't consider that a listing. I thank God that people understand. The people on it understand what I'm going through. They thought that they're gonna hang a sign and they'll have a line like in the galley. I'm first. I'm first. So they asked me, how long do you think it's gonna take?
What's that, 3 years?
That's hilarious.
You've had it for 2 years.
Well, somebody had it before me for a year.
Sometimes
You
when,
know that?
yeah, because
I
sometimes
think I
twins are
remember you saying
that.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying stuff.
That someone was from in-house. On Saturday. You know,
Oh, yes, he was part of the,
Should be out back.
they did have nice showing. 1 year.
Yeah,
it's too big of a house.
1 year.
The price isn't that bad.
No,
It's
it's
10,000
worth
feet.
400. Worth 400 as well.
Yeah,
It's functional. It's unusual.
that's big, big, big.
You
Who
saw,
wants 10,000 feet for a second home?
you saw it furnished?
Yeah.
Looks awesome. Now, beautiful.
It looks a whole lot better furnished.
I think they're gonna move in next year.
Can you imagine the electric bills on there? With the pool,
No straight. I don't want to know. Every day something else.
even if you turned off downstairs. With all
One
those
day I
windows,
counted the thermostats in the house. I forgot how much. You see the 7 or 8 air conditioners.
when I held it open, I think it took me 20 minutes to get everything going. Lights, AC. But
Me and I'm walking slow. It takes me half an hour. Can you imagine shutting it down?
I know, no, it didn't. It took 20 minutes to shut it down.
It's an hour, ain't an hour.
However, I don't believe where.
Maybe.
A little warm.
Well, it's gonna be 120.
Yeah, but don't they have AC in here?
120 degrees today. Get ready.
I know.
I'll demonstrate.
I think it's
got it in.
105 already.
I'll put it on the asphalt. Let's see how fast it becomes.
10 minutes, maybe.
Yes, thank you.
Morning.
There is.
Hey, you probably have no idea.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you. Lori, you look gorgeous. Yeah, I think that's it is.
Sorry, I'm answering one of my tenants' questions.
How happy to do that, sir?
Just tell her about kids.
I walked in and it was sweltering. Oh my god, I've never been so happy to see a repairman in my entire life. Yeah. Oh, it was awful. I'm trying to keep my patience.
Very good at letting me know my friends are in California. Okay, get it
I've been one of those already.
Good morning. Wonderful, how are you going tonight? Yeah.
Well, I get them in the morning when they're being fresh. We know who not to go to. Right, exactly. So we're having
You leave the chair for a second, see pieces of paper on it. I wish if I go again, I come back, I have a library.
That's right. And it's all excellent information. You better read every word.
And then there's a test.
There'll be a test.
Oh, no, not that one. Go to the stoplight, which is Hayden. Yes, that's Hayden. And the first right into the parking lot, that is the parking lot for the HOA for Greyhound. So as soon as you make a right, that's the first big building on the right, and make another right there in that building. Take your time, take your time. Be careful.
I'll get her to no way.
I'm sorry, I'm searching for some directions. I have no idea where I
Makes it oddly enough, I do it up
You should always have. But you see, I stepped away too far. Okay. But those phones are smarter than us, man. It goes fast. I'll talk to you later. Take care.
And there's no better person to talk to us today than Commissioner Judy Lowe. It took us 6 months to get her on the calendar, so I thank you for your attendance, and of course, we're thrilled to have you, so it's all yours.
That's going to be hard to live up to. I am Judy Lowe. I'm the commissioner for the state of Arizona, for the Arizona Department of Real Estate, and I work for the governor and the constituents, your buyers and sellers of real estate in the state of Arizona. The public doesn't realize that there's a difference between the Department of Real Estate and the Association of Realtors. You're all members of the Association of Realtors, and that's the trade association. You call yourself realtors, but there are 83,000 real estate licensees in Arizona. 61,000 and top, it must have a real estate license. If they're soliciting leads for you and they're paid by you for that lead, they must have a license. I have files on my desk right now. Be really clear and prominent. Is this so important? Because the consumer has to know that there is a company, a wonderful large company with a very attentive designated broker who they can contact if they can't get the real estate licensee to call back. The broker of the other company and say, get it cleaned up. And if that doesn't work, Sandy will call me and I'll call their designated broker. So I spend every morning for about 2 hours on the phone calling about mostly advertising situations, reminding the broker. I always call the designated broker. And I always say she spells hers wrong. But that's a good way to remember it. Just remember that I'm like the Lowe's home stores, and she's not. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
That's the quickest way.
Okay.
I make the phone call usually that morning to the broker on the other side. And it has been, we started this about 3 months ago. Talked about it in a cabinet meeting with the governor who was encouraging interacting with your industry and interacting with your, you put a baby in a car seat, your car, and drive them around to look at property? Should they be allowed to have a key box key to access a real estate licensee as salesperson or an associate broker under the corporation, the employee broker? And then PCP LLC and the name of that corporation must include their name, the licensee's name. And when you go to the Corporation Commission to get that license, they will bless it. They'll give it to you. They don't tell you that you must come to the real estate department and have that added to your legal name to become a PC. You can take on a member partner in that corporation, somebody else on your team that is licensed. Their name may be in the name of the PCP LLC with you. That's the corporation that the company all commission checks to. PCP LLC then can write the checks out from the corporation to the individuals who are members of the corporation. But that PCP LLC cannot pay other licensees. Other licensees can only be paid through the designated broker directly to other licensees on the team. It's pretty complicated. Some of our real estate licensees are thinking once they have the blessing of the Corporation Commission, they're now their own corporation and they can step out and do property management outside of or do whatever other real estate activities they might want to do. That's not the case. PCP LLC is for tax purposes only. Now, some of our licensees, and I'm not condoning this in any way because I feel that it's a very slippery slope once a real estate licensee does. Some of our licensees are creating LLC corporation to do real estate activity. Can't do that. You can't have an LLC separate from the employing broker doing real estate activity. Where do we see it most? In the fix and flip, where the real estate licensee wants to get into the fix and flip business. And what they're doing is creating an LLC over here on the side to do the fix up. One thing that we have to remember is that if we're going to do the fix up on our own as real estate licensees or not, we may have to have a contractor's license from the Register of Contractors. So if there are any repairs, I think the limit is $1,000. That individual and LLC must be registered with the Registrar of Contractors. Lots of investors making offers on property and wanting to flip it during the escrow period. Please, if you're the listing agent, be very, very detailed in how you explain the ramifications of that to your sellers, because many of those who are making those offers, investors who are making those offers, writing an offer on your, let's say it's your listing, writing an offer on your listing, presenting it to the seller, letting the seller know that this is an offer. Yeah, it's a little bit low, but it is an offer. In that offer, that buyer, that investor buyer, is creating a kick-out clause, I call it. In other words, they're writing the offer that they have the right to try and assign it during the escrow period, to market it and sell it to a subsequent person, and they will assign this contract to the subsequent person during the escrow period. And if they don't find a subsequent buyer, this becomes null and void. And that seller really doesn't have a sale on their property. So please pay attention. This is really gaining momentum as we're seeing more and more investors. In one case just last week, that investor even got the right of the owner of the property to be able to go in and do repairs during the escrow period. Went in, did the repairs, didn't find a subsequent buyer, walked away from the contract.